The more than 3-year drought has hit Oklahoma hard, with no signs of letting up anytime soon. The residents of one water district have watched their trees die and herds dwindle, and they may soon have to boil water to make it safe for drinking. I spoke with Oklahoma Watch reporter Ron Jackson about the drought near Lone Chimney Lake and what the situation there says about the drought in other parts of the state. Ron, the entire state is feeling the drought, but it appears that the people in the Lone Chimney Water District are feeling it even more. This is a microcosm of the state.
Oh yeah, it's really a bad situation. I mean, if you talk to state officials, they even reluctantly say this is a really bad example of what's going on right now. So it's kind of scary.
Why do the conditions there seem to be worse than in some areas, although it does translate statewide?
Yeah, you get different opinions on that. I mean, some of the members of the district feel like the district hasn't taken certain precautions, that sort of thing, to retain water when it was there. But I think when you really come down to it, it's a wholesale distributor of water. That's what they are. They're kind of like a Walmart, and so they can't regulate what their members, how much water they use. They can only regulate it in maybe their surcharges. For every 1,000 gallons, they'll kind of, hit people with a price tag, and that's kind of the deterrent. So, for whatever reason, it's just kind of this perfect storm that has created these conditions down there.
The perfect storm includes the fact that the infrastructure is also failing.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the ground as dry as it is right now. You talk to the administrators out there, and they're constantly fixing leaks on pipes and stuff, just because the ground's just tearing the pipes apart. It's so dry.
And a backup water source. Some have it, some don't.
Yeah, it's a real hit and miss deal, and that's the part of this story that is really intriguing. Is that a lot of these member towns that get water from this district are scrambling for these backup sources. Some have old wells, some have new wells that aren't deep enough, so they'll have to boil water. I mean, everybody's kind of, some members have already gone offline and have tapped into other sources. Like Morrison, for instance, they've already shut off their lines to Lone Chimney, but not everybody's that lucky. I mean, some towns like Glencoe, they don't have a backup source. They have a water tower, which is, I don't know, 50 years old, so.
And that's all they have.
Yeah, so, I mean, I've been told, that could last 3 hours or 3 days,
And emergency wells are not necessarily the solution.
No, a lot of farmers have run into problems. Again, it's a crapshoot. I mean, when they're drilling these things, they're spending $4,000 a well in a lot of cases. They're drilling down and they're not getting water. Some farmers are luckier than others. I talked to a gentleman out there who dug some wells, got some water. A mile or two away, had a neighbor, dug some wells, hit nothing. So it's a real hit and miss deal.
What are residents doing to conserve water, and is the government encouraging that?
Well, to start with, the Lone Chimney Water Association has been sending out, advisories, for the last couple of years, encouraging people to save water. Towns like Yale are encouraging their citizens to, but there's been no enforcement. So it really comes down to the individual at home who's maybe saving their water in their sink, to wash their dishes, or doing a larger load of laundry instead of maybe 3 or 4. Not watering plants outside. People have told me they've literally let trees die outside that they've had for years. So it's kind of individual choices. There's no regulations.
What do you think is the lesson learned from the Lone Chimney Water District that could be learned by people throughout the state in the middle of this severe to extreme or extraordinary drought?
I mean, that's probably the lesson here, and I think as a society, we better understand that ponds are dried up, rivers are running dry, and this water is not just this endless source that's going to be there forever. So we have to start. I think we all have to do kind of a self-evaluation on that. That's the lesson I see.
Ron Jackson from Oklahoma Watch, excellent reporting. Thank you.
Thank you.